Shalom, call halal Yahweh Shemel Shabbat Shemakah Kodash, double honors to the other apostles and other bishops of Great Millstone, even the elders that came before them that taught us the truth. Shalom and salutation to all the brothers that push the word in truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. Leo Yahshua, I'm back with the WW3 Daily update. Shalom and salutations to you all. We'll just play this from the top. My boy Mahmoud, it says, U.S. bombs Iranian ships. So they're over there fighting in the strait, right? He shall be in straits. U.S. bombs and seizes Iranian cargo ship. Trump boasts talks in Pakistan. So apparently tomorrow they're supposed to be meeting and resuming some sort of peace and safety talks that will result in sudden destruction. Anyway, let's just get peace and safety real quick while we're here. What is it? First Thessalonians, peace and 5:3. First Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. I like to read NLT. When people are saying everything is peaceful and secure, then disaster will fall on them as suddenly as a pregnant woman's labor pains begin, and there will be no escape. Anyway, so tomorrow is Peace and Safety Day. So before that comes around, they get to fire as many rounds as they can before they strike up a new ceasefire treaty, whatever.
Struggling with
So this is Mahmoud, O.D. I don't know what the O.D. is. Okay. But anyway, Mahmoud does a good job. Start at the head. Go ahead, Mahmoud.
fact.
Slow. Oh, went back too far. Let's see where you at.
Officially now, are we back in the circle of war, or what's happening? This is a developing story that we're going to start covering, and we're going to get more information. An Iranian cargo ship, and as a matter of fact, seized this cargo ship. So what is exactly happening here? Is the United States...
Go all the way back. Salakia. 2-1. Here we go. Mahmoud, y'all. I'm going to get all of it. Bear with me. I'm going to shut.
Right now, misinformation spreads faster than facts, especially on the most sensitive global stories.
Wars and rumors.
NVP uses uncensored AI analysis to verify the most controversial topics and separate signal from propaganda.
He's selling his products.
Instead of guessing who to trust, you can see structured,
on the VP
analysis behind every major issue.
Here we go. Mahmoud.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another live stream, and thank you so much for tuning in to another show. The American President Donald Trump just declared that they attacked an Iranian cargo ship, and as a matter of fact, seized this cargo ship. So
let me stop right there, all right? So that lets you know. And I believe I said yesterday that they were going to resume the war or do some sort of attack. They haven't done the attack yet. So what they're doing is they have to agitate and do whatever it is that they call themselves doing right now. Why? Because what they need to do the attack hasn't arrived yet. Okay? So what are they doing? Oh, well, let's go pick a little fight and, have something to put on Truth Social. So we'll see what he's about to explain
what is exactly happening here.
But there is no, they took over the island of Karg and they're shooting back and forth, and now they have to press forward, move the draft up because they're over there losing soldiers. That's not going on right now. But we'll know when that attack starts. Didn't start today, so they're playing around in the strait.
United States attacking Iran officially now. Are we back in the circle of war, or what's happening? This is a developing story that we're going to start covering, and we're going to get more information likely as we speak, because the Iranian side hasn't confirmed anything so far. So far, Iran said an Iranian flagged oil tanker passed the Strait of Hormuz. Clearly, the United States is preventing some of the ships of Iran to go back into the strait or leave the strait outside the Strait of Hormuz, not inside. The Strait of Hormuz and what happens inside with the control of Iran outside the United States is deploying its naval forces and having these moves against Iran, again, potentially as leverage during this period, this very fragile ceasefire. But this move now, if it turns out to be accurate, and the American president confirmed it, that's a step up, especially because we're talking about expected negotiations tomorrow in Pakistan. We're going to also talk about that.
Okay, so those two things. What's going on now ahead of what's going to happen tomorrow with talks in Pakistan? The reason I'm trying to frame this out right now, because that's what this lesson is about. The lesson is about the update. The update is what's the latest thing that happened. So what I do is I try to find what happened, Right now you have to look within the last 2 hours. You have to try to find something that happened within the last 2 hours. I almost made it right there, 120 minutes. Streamed live 120 minutes ago. That's 2 hours, yeah? So, now I need new news. Because,
speaking with the state,
but we do know that they're over there fighting in the strait. And he's going to explain it right now. And we'll get a statement from your boy Nero.
Trump. Trump said this on his...
we back that up just there.
Inside, the Strait of Hormuz and what happens inside with the control of Iran outside the United States is deploying its naval forces and having these moves against Iran, again, potentially as leverage during this period, this very fragile ceasefire. But this move now, if it turns out to be accurate, and the American president confirmed it, that's a step up, especially because we're talking about expected negotiations tomorrow in Pakistan. We're going to also talk about that. Let's begin with the statement of Trump. Trump said this on his social media. Today, an Iranian flagged cargo ship named Tuska, nearly 900 feet long and weighing almost as much as an aircraft carrier, tried to get past our naval blockade, and it did not go well for them. The U.S. Navy guided missile destroyer USS Spruance intercepted the Tuska in the Gulf of Oman and gave them fair warning to stop. The Iranian crew refused to listen, so our Navy ship stopped them right in their tracks by blowing a hole in the engine room. Right now, U.S. Marines have custody of...
That's hilarious. Okay, so Trump is a whole clown, and this is how he's fighting this war. He's fighting it in the court of public opinion. They're lying to the American people. They're using wars and rumors of what they're doing. This is just crazy, but this is inflammatory language. It says the Iranian crew refused to listen, so our Navy ship stopped them right in their tracks by blowing a hole in the engine. That is hilarious, and I have to get this. I have to use this opportunity to grab 2nd Ezra 9 in the Good News Translation. 2nd Ezra 9 and 3 in the Good News Translation reads, and this is what we're looking at, unstable leaders, right, and confused rulers. This is what we're looking for. You can always go to this. You got to have it on deck, okay? So, 2nd Ezra 9 and 3 in the GMT. There will be earthquakes, national rebellions, in international intrigues, unstable leaders, and confused rulers. When you see these things happening, you will know that they are what God Most High has spoken about since the beginning of creation. We see these things happening, right? When you see these things happen, what? See what things? Seeing this dude run completely amok. What? Imagine Barack Obama, the Negro, doing any of these things, running amok like Donald Trump is right now. Okay, so clearly the Most High is Nebuchadnezzar in this dog walking Trump like Nebuchadnezzar.
Vessel, the Tuska is under U.S. Treasury sanctions because of their prior history of illegal activity. We have full custody over the ship and are seeing what's on board. That came from the American president, and he published a photo with it too, apparently.
This ain't GTA. This is Grand Theft oil tanker. Grand Theft cargo ship. High on the high seas. Right? Maritime Admiralty.
Appears to be an American Navy ship, and it looks like an oil tanker. It could be anything, really. It could be a cargo ship. What we usually have stuff over the cargo, but hey, that's the picture that Donald Trump actually posted. So, what is the situation here exactly? Okay, so Iran didn't confirm yet that that was the case. So we have no confirmation from the other party. As a matter of fact, the other party stated not long ago the following. That was from Fars News Agency about satellite images indicating that an Iranian-flagged oil tanker successfully bypassed the U.S. blockade and entered Iranian waters. So the United States is the United States targeting some of the ships of Iran, and not all of them? Are they targeting like the civilian goods or whatever they think they might have on, but not the oil industry, so that it doesn't appear to be too much of a provocation? Although Trump already said that Iran is losing $500 million a day, Iran wouldn't lose $500 million a day unless we're talking about oil. And if the Iranian oil is still flowing, what is Trump doing? Is it like a half measure coming from Trump to apply leverage in the negotiations, or what is it exactly? But again, this is the image that he posted. I couldn't verify it really. And the post said the name Tuska. Iran would probably confirm at one point. So far, I haven't seen a source coming from Iran to verify any of that happening. But sometimes it could happen where the United States would say something and Iran would later on all of a sudden tell them, yeah, it did happen. It's happening in a very, very sensitive period, to be fair. It's happening when Iran is due to talk with the United States in Pakistan
tomorrow, and I want to get to that, but you know what? All right, so let's just assume that that's going to happen. But there's a whole lot of if this and if that going on, so I got to get a precept on that. Just because he don't know. What you reporting on if you don't know? This is Sirach 5 and 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small. No, you got to know about these things. So what we do, we go from here. Okay, so let's see who else knows. Let's see. U.S. Takes, seizes, what do you put? Seize? How do you spell it? S-E-I-Z. Um, ship in strait. When you say straight, you get to find out who knows the difference. 2 hours. U.S. Navy forcibly seizes. This is News Nation. So there's some truth to it, unless News Nation is pushing the same rumors of war that Nero is pushing. 1 hour. Okay, so this seems to be real. And where did we come from? What you got to do is you got to do a little diligent search. Be not ignorant of anything in the great matters known. Run a little search and find out if any of it is true, and it's looking like it measures up. So what does this mean overall? That means before negotiations tomorrow, they're over there stirring something up. I'm sure that Amalek is over there making sure he's drawing them out, doing what he's programmed to do. So they refuse to listen. So they're over there playing games. Now, how is it that Babylon the Great can sit over there and play pity pat and play games like this? Why? Because they know that they got them nukes. You know we got nukes, right? We can play around and play around. We got them nukes. They're coming, but right now you can play. All right? That's part of what's going on. Give me something small. Get a tiny one. 16 minutes. U.S. seizes Iranian ship. Trump announces escalation. Fair use.
Finance the old way.
Slovakia, bear with me. I'm going to go ahead and close. This is all we need. So they're escalating tomorrow.
Best way. Blockade. It comes as there is just over
Slovakia.
escalation in the war with Iran. President Trump today announced that the U.S. military fired upon and seized. Escalation in the war with Iran. President Trump today announced that the U.S. military fired upon and seized an Iranian ship after it tried to get past the U.S. blockade. It comes as there is just over 2 days to go before the ceasefire with Iran expires, as Trump pressures them to make a deal or risk getting blown up, as he says. Olivia Rinaldi is in Washington with the details.
On Sunday, President Trump said the U.S. military seized an Iranian ship, blowing a hole in its engine room as it tried to get past an American naval blockade. This comes hours after the president responded to Iran reclosing the Strait of Hormuz, announcing, quote, "We're offering a very fair and reasonable deal," adding if Iran doesn't take it, the U.S. will, quote, "knock out every single power plant and every bridge in Iran. No more Mr. Nice Guy." President Trump said he's also sending representatives back to Pakistan for another round of negotiations, but it is unclear if Iran will show up. Late Saturday, Iran's parliamentary speaker said Iran has a fundamental distrust of the United States. The current ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran is set to expire in the coming days. On Sunday, multiple members of the Trump administration expressed optimism for the U.S. to hammer out a deal with the Iranian regime before the ceasefire expires.
The Iranian economy is devastated, so Iran does not have the cards, and we are confident they will come to the table and finally give up their obsession with having a nuclear weapon.
I think before long, you'll see an agreement that achieves the United States end, puts an end to the 47 years of terrorism launched from Iran and probably launches Iran on a better trajectory for its own people as well.
50 days into the war, concerns are growing about the potential impact of the conflict on the travel industry. Jet fuel prices have nearly doubled since the war began, and airlines are cutting routes this summer amidst the rising fuel costs. Olivia Rinaldi, CBS News, Washington.
Escalation.
Okay, so what's going on going into tomorrow? This is what I surmise. The equipment that they need is not in theater for them to run the attack. This is not the attack. This little season of the ship, this is just for high side purposes, if you will, just to remain visible, because that really didn't do anything. It kept the heat up, if anything. But they have too many. They have too much personnel and too much equipment in theater not to launch something. Okay, and whatever they need to launch hasn't arrived yet. So that's what this is, stalling tactics. They're playing around until they do some sort of attack. So basically we're waiting on an attack. All right? This is what they're doing. I mean, because this is going on both sides, if you will. There's two sides to a war, Joel. And the Rothschilds are funding both sides. Anyway, this is Joel 3. What does it say to do? It says, 3 and 10, it says, advance. So this is what they're doing. Where did we go? Is this what I want? I could use this. Because right now, everybody is heading where? To the Valley of Yehoshaphat. So what are they doing? They're advancing. Right? Everybody is. Come up. Come up. Advance. What does that mean? Advance. Let them advance. Let the nations be roused. You know who's roused right now? China. China's mad as hell. Why? Because everything you see going on is a challenge to China. It's China's oil. Iran is like this. We move, that's China's oil. Okay? It's a challenge to Vlad. Vlad is like, that's my oil too. Why did you shut down Venezuela? That's my oil. What do you see going on? Okay? So everybody, the Most High is making them advance, right? Let the nations be called to arms. Let them march to the valley. They're marching. They're advancing. Okay? And let me go back to 10. 9, it's a lot. Joel 3 and 9. Draw near and attack. This is what is Babylon the Great doing right now? They're throwing up hand and arm signals, smoke flares. Why? Because they're waiting for all their gear to come in. And then what are they going to do? Let them come up. They're drawing near. And then they, what are they doing? Joel 3 and 9. Proclaim, this is in the NIV, proclaim this among the nations, prepare for war, rouse the warriors, let all the fighting men draw near and attack. Okay? Let all your fighting men advance for the attack. All the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Okay? Well, that's what they're doing. They're drawing near. They're waiting for the rest of their gear to arrive. Okay? They're coming forward. Have all the soldiers come forward. Have them come up. Draw near. Okay? Approach. Come up. This is what they're doing. Have all the warriors come near. March. Approach. Okay, so they haven't gotten there yet, but they're approaching. What happens after that? The attack. When is the attack? Well, they got to get the gear in place first, right? And that's what's about to happen. They're not just dilly-dally. Oh, we're playing pirate out here in the Strait of Hormuz. Nope. The shit ain't got there yet. Hell, they had to send a carrier home, I believe. Anyway, so they're doing two things, all right? What else are they going to do? Let's get that real quick. When is the deadline? What is it? Ceasefire. When is the ceasefire deadline for Iran, U.S., Israel war, and will they resume talks in Karachi? Where are they at? Let's see what Grok or AI says about that. Come on, we gotta do better. This is stupid. They don't want AI to answer this, but we're gonna make it. Not gonna tell me, huh? So the 21st. Today's the 19th. The 21st is Tuesday. Okay. Okay, so that's Tuesday. All right. It's expected to end Tuesday. All right. And what I say, and why? And will they resume? Yeah. Oh, the talks. Status of talks are expected to arrive to resume. That's today. A separate 10-day ceasefire, right? So they're not giving up a lot, but call halal on the 414 there. So what is that? What is the? What are the talks? Ceasefire deadline. Let's see what they said. No, I'm too far out. I'm gonna just get that. I'm gonna go back to peace and safety real quick. First Let's get that. That's what it is. Okay, peace and safety. But what does it mean? It means nothing. First Thessalonians 5:3. Let's read that one more time. Because that's what any talks are. What are peace talks? Peace and safety. Okay. First Thessalonians 5:3 in the NIV. While people are saying peace and safety, destruction will come on them suddenly. Right? As labor pains on a pregnant woman, and they will not escape. Suddenly, how? How suddenly? Well, BB is waiting right after the talks are done and he came to a favorable conclusion. That nigga is looking through the crosshairs. He's shooting, firing a missile. Right as the ink is drying on the agreement, that nigga is suddenly what? Doing what? Firing a missile. Quick, fast. And they shall not escape. So, and what does that go into with BB with one itchy trigger finger? That's the least of the flock drawn out. So at one hand washes the other. All right. And I'm paraphrasing with that. I pray that the electorate edified you, brother and sister.